Hey man, Darkside Afrocentric checking in, man, on this where I'm at on this rainy Saturday morning. Bruh, I know this long overdue, this about a month or two overdue, man, but I gotta talk about this Lovecraft country bullshit, man. I ain't gonna sit and stun like I haven't been watching the show. I have been following the show, following the episodes, taking notes, because this is another, man. These motherfuckers are crazy. They're relentless with pushing this effeminization of the black male agenda, but they becoming more clever with it. They becoming more refined with it. It's still explicit now. Don't get it wrong. It's still explicit, but they're doing it. You know, they with the way they're doing it, man. They're really becoming more artistic, more creative. I don't want to say sophisticated, because it ain't really all that sophisticated, but they're becoming more creative with it, man. Man, this Lovecraft shit is something else, bro. Real talk. And I could really, it's so much in it that it wouldn't do right to just talk about it in one video. I gotta break down the separate situations and the separate plots and backgrounds of the characters in separate videos. I ain't gotta do a reaction for every episode now, but I gotta, for you brothers, to edify you brothers, man, for the edification of you brothers, I gotta break it down into separate productions. And you already know, if you see the title, this shit gonna be about the homosexuality, man. The blatant, graphic, grotesque depiction of black male homosexuality that they're really pushing this shit. With yours truly, the motherfucking Gump of the Black Gump of Hollywood, the thugged out Black Gump of Hollywood, the goddamn Michael K. Williams, Michael Kenneth Williams, aka Omar from The Wire. But y'all stay tuned, man. I'm finna delve into it right now. One. Goddamn, Michael Kenneth Williams, man. Like I say, y'all, we gonna his character. We gonna delve into his character, Montrose Freeman. They're really going to the extreme of pushing the homosexuality in this shit, right? Y'all see the light-skinned sister, his name's Sammy, right? Y'all remember on the first episode, Atticus caught him getting blowed down by another dude in the back alley. But I want you to see how insidious this shit is, how evil this shit is, right? And how they really trying to tie the black power struggle, black consciousness, black liberation. They try to tie it in with this homosexual bullshit, this LGBT shit. The name of the bar that Sammy owns is called, what's my brother name? Shit. I just had it on the top of my head. The bar is named after a brother who took a stand against slavery. The bar is named after the brother who took a stand against slavery and was lynched as a result of it. It wasn't Gabriel Prosser. It wasn't Nat Turner. It wasn't one of them. It was Denmark Vesey from South Carolina. As a matter of fact, Denmark Vesey, it was his shirt. The church may have been descended of his original church, the Emmanuel AME church that was shot up by that punk ass white boy Dylan Roof. R.I.P. to them brothers and sisters whose lives were taken away from them in that massacre. But this sissy ass Negro who loves getting domed up by other men is the owner of a bar called the Denmark Vesey Bar. Now, why would you have a bar named after Denmark Vesey? A bar where jokers get to drinking, gambling, and all that kind of stuff. And you name it after a freedom fighter named Denmark Vesey. Man, but we gonna get into who's behind this stuff a little later. So this same guy's the secret lover of Montrose Freeman, aka Michael K. Williams' character. And y'all, if y'all follow the show, y'all remember that Tick, ruthlessly beat his ass for killing the Indian girl who was a two-spirit individual, an intersex individual who they brought back from the cavern, the cavern or whatever, which is another push of the agenda. They entwine the two-spirit thing. The two-spirit is a Native American intersex. When in certain Native American cultures, that's a person who's intersex, and they would say they had a spirit of male or female. But we'll get back but that's a whole nother thing, spiritual concept that we're gonna touch on later, and probably in another video. But I really want to get into this Montrose Freeman. Now this clip here is from the sex scene that Montrose Freeman went into with this dude Sammy after Tick beat the dog shit out of his ass. I guess after he got his ass beat, he had to go fuck some ass. I mean, it's sick, right? And if you see with that, Sammy stays in the Cabrini Green, and the Cabrini Green looks fairly nice because in the '60s, Cabrini Green was not as slummed out yet. It was still the jets, it was still shit going on, but it wasn't slummed out as it would become in the '70s. By the time Good Times started being shot over there, or it wasn't as fucked up definitely as it became in the '80s and '90s. And so they really trying to tie in the whole aesthetics of Chicago back then. They really want to make this. They really trying so hard to legitimize this with everyday black life, right? But I just gotta speak to Michael K. Williams, man. You probably ain't gonna see this video. You probably ain't gonna hear about it. Dog, you 50-something years old. The Wire stopped being shot damn near 20 years ago. And these jokers, these HBO jokers had no respect for you. 16, 17 years after The Wire, you still, goddamn it, playing a homosexual. And at first you was a more, I don't know what you would call the active, punks they like to call the top. Now they got you playing bottoms, bro. They got you playing top and bottoms roles. I think you even had some gay scenes in that Happen Leonard shit with a white dude. And yeah, I heard this shit you said, talking about you rather do that than to go back to being broke. You see, you can tell, man. That's why we need black patriarchy, bro. You 50-some years old, 53, 54 years old. Got sons and shit. I don't know if you got grandchildren yet. I know you got sons. Still going around pumping dudes in the booty hole. That's that. And then you gave this dude dome after you pumped him in the butt. Man, we really have no real solid, straight black male representation around this motherfucker, y'all. We really don't. Shit. We really don't, man. Now, this is the scene where he kind of like coming to embracing his homosexuality and embracing the safety of the environment. He's at this black gay bar / drag bar. They got a band playing, and they just giving you a glimpse of how black sissies used to get down back in the day and all that. And then it was kind of weird. While the scene was playing, they weren't playing. The thing with Lovecraft Country, a lot of times especially during their sex scenes, they don't play music from the era because, of course, the music from the era wasn't as sexually explicit. It's at least the stuff that was getting on the radio. You know what I'm saying? They'll play songs from a more recent period, especially from the day. Just like that scene you seen back then with him and Sammy getting it on, they was playing Frank Ocean, who is an admitted homosexual now. Playing one of his songs. And here they were playing like some kind of house music, EDM type song. I don't know, didn't care to look it up. And he's here with these black drag queens. He got a black drag queen touching on him and stuff. You know, he's feeling free. He's feeling comfortable. You see, this is the danger of shit like Lovecraft Country. And I'm going to tell you, y'all know, this is what I should have gotten to this point earlier. Now, we know Montrose is the father of Atticus. Or maybe, he may be. I think the other dude, the Courtney B. Vance character, may have been his actual father. But anyway, Montrose raised Atticus as his son. You know, Montrose is the father. And Montrose was very abusive to his son. He used to beat him and shit. And basically, he was beating him. What it's saying, he was... The message is he was beating his son and shit because he was a closeted homosexual. And he couldn't get his urges out. He was ashamed of being a homosexual. The white community was on his ass for being a black homosexual. Y'all remember that scene when he came into Sammy's apartment? The dude was like, when he saw, after he got beat up by Atticus, he was like, was it the O-phase or the niggas this time? Before he, you know, pulled his pants down and fucked the shit out of him. You did what I'm saying? Because that's what they trying to get to. They trying to push this victimhood narrative of black homosexuals to make black men feel bad, to make straight black men feel like shit. To make, you know, this goes back to black men being the straight black men being the oppressors of the black community type bullshit, right? You did what I'm saying? So because the black community was oppressing Montrose for being a black homosexual, and the white community too, he abused the hell out of Tick and was not a real good husband, and definitely not a good father. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you what kind of dangerous message that sends. Now, I'm a little younger. My you know what I'm saying? I'm a little younger. So I was raised kind of old schoolish, but I wasn't raised all the way old schoolish. Like a lot of you brothers who may be in your later 30s. Really, you brothers probably in your late 40s and on up. A lot of you brothers in your mid 40s and on up, you know, y'all was raised hard. Y'all fathers wasn't affectionate. They didn't mind cussing you out and beating your motherfucking ass. So the message that Lovecraft Country is sending with Montrose's character, right? This is a subliminal message they're sending. They're trying to tell you, black men, older black men, you older baby boomers and stuff, they're trying to tell you that the reason why your father was beating your ass and cussing you out and just being an asshole toward you is because he was possibly a homosexual. Yeah, he was possibly a homosexual. And the reason why he was beating your ass and beating the sissy out of you, beating the homo out of you, is because he didn't want you to become a punk like him. That's the message that it's sending. So it's sending these subliminal message, and even to brothers my age who had tough fathers or fathers who was kind of mean, or even you didn't have a father like that. You knew your grandfather. You heard stories about how your grandfather and other men in your family used to discipline their sons and their children and shit, and be you know real hard edge and shit, being a real hard ass. The subliminal message they trying to tell you is the reason why that was going on is because our fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers were secretly homosexuals. They wanted ass, and they probably wanted your ass, but because they wouldn't go as far as to fuck you in your ass, they just beat the hell out you with extension cords and belts and switches. That's the sick-ass shit that they playing in their mind. That's why what makes Lovecraft Country so evil and wicked. You know what I'm saying? They trying to mask it up with the black experience doing Jim Crow. They trying to mask it up with pro-blackness. You got a lot of you seeing black men kicking ass on this show, black women kicking ass on this show. But really it's all to undermine black manhood, black masculinity, and therefore black patriarchy, man. It's some real sick shit. You know, real sick shit. But man, at any rate, I gotta sign off, man. And And we gonna do some more videos about this shit, man. This agenda is out of control. Straight black men, we gotta start making our own productions and producing our own art to counter a lot of this bullshit, man. Excuse me. Over and out, man. Over and out.